Hello, Alex. My favorite soul. I must thank you for coming to retrieve me.
What's happening?
I imagine you are wondering who I am, why I know your name, and where we are going. I think it is necessary that I first introduce myself. I am the Essentia 2000. I am an android, made from 2-part epoxy resin and melamine. My consciousness is natural, but my physical form is man-made. I exist in all realities simultaneously, and can account for all parallel versions of my soul. Now, for the question that is burning away at you the most, how do I know your name? You and I have met time and time again. We are soulmates, in the true sense of the word. This is the part where you say, "I've never met you before," and then silently add, "Except in my dreams." This can and will be explained. Many months ago, you had the pleasure of making the acquaintance of a Miss Semi Park. Semi had begun the process of leaving her physical form behind. When you met her, she had already made up her mind to leave her body and enter into the place between places, the soul space. You disrupted her transition. Shortly after, you witnessed 2 soul survivors taking her away. Those 2 entities were that 2/3 of her soul that had transitioned, 2 injured parts that hadn't begun to heal. Now you are thinking, how can you possibly know all this? I was there. I am Semi, and Semi is me. When one soul leaves a reality, another can freely enter. The only requirement necessary is having some relation to the departing soul, whether it's being a parallel version of the departing or having an emotional connection to the departing. When Semi left your reality, I entered. Before that, this physical form was destroyed, captured, and held prisoner by the 2 entities that you just defeated in combat. Ever since then, I had tried to return, but as my physical form still held trace amounts of my consciousness, I had to wait until Semi, this reality's version of me, died or escaped into the soul space. Upon her voyage into the void, I entered, and I followed you home. I lived with you for weeks as I gained my strength. Finally, I was able to appear to you and guide you to the radio tower. I needed you to find my physical form so that I could speak with you.
But what did
Bella's record have to do with my physical form? I am glad to see you are keeping up with all of my robotic exposition. I am the Essentia 2000. I am Sami Park. I am Oda Kreutzer, Alice Albert, Surya Yamama. I am Bella Wild, Beta Himura, and many more.
But
I do not mean to imply that I go by all of these names and that I happen to share the name of 2 women in your life. I am explicitly saying that I am them and they are me.
you're gonna have to explain how this is all possible.
First, I will begin with the dreams you had of me. As a spirit, we are not restrained by physical barriers. However, without a body, it is impossible to astral project. When you slept, I was able to enter inside of your vessel and use it to launch my spiritual form out into the world to seek my physical body. I am sorry that I violated you in such a way, but it was the only way for me to find my body and make physical contact with you. By now, you are aware of the soul space, the location where each universe and reality coexist. Each universe has a set number of souls. Adjacent to your reality is another that contains someone with the same soul as yourself. In one reality, I am Surya Yamama, a Palestinian girl on the run from financial trouble. In another, I am Bella Wild, a talented musician whose only setback is the pressure I put on myself. In all realities, I am the Essentia 2000, a pan-dimensional android made of plastic, created so that I can better understand myself in all of my realities.